Do you have a difficult time knowing what you want or need? Do you fear that you will be smothered if you get too close to your spouse or a friend? Do you exaggerate your accomplishments a bit when you meet someone new? Do you get anxious when your partner wants to be intimate with you? Are you afraid people will find out that you are not who they think you are? You don't like to ask other people for help, even if you need it. You feel controlled by what others expect of you. You feel it is really important to have the right answers. You get afraid of being consumed by the needs of others. You find it difficult to form and maintain intimate relationships. You have trouble deciding if you want sex or nurturing touch. You have trouble relaxing, and you have chronic tension in your body. You see yourself and others as either all good or all bad. You compare yourself to others, feeling either better or worse than them. You are told that you are not aware of the needs or concerns of others. You like being your own person and fear being controlled by others. You deny your problems or discount the importance of your problems. Adults who, as small children, were abused by people they trusted often fear they will experience similar abuse or abandonment when they try to get close to other adults. These people often associate closeness with hurt and pain. As a result, they have difficulty getting close to other people and staying close. They learn to construct physical and psychological walls to protect themselves. Counter-dependent people tend to be more aware of others' flaws and insufficiencies than they are of their own unmet needs and flaws. They use projections to protect themselves from encountering their own unmet needs. If they are in a relationship with someone who has codependent behaviors, they see this person as the sick or needy one in the relationship. This one-up position allows the person with counter-dependent behaviors to project her own shadow and look like the good or healthy partner. People with codependent issues will actually create conflict when the relationship is not intimate enough. Those with counter-dependent behaviors create conflict when the relationship is too intimate. Much of couple conflict involves a struggle to determine how much intimacy and how much separation partners can tolerate in the relationship. The partners are often competing to meet their own conflicting needs for closeness and separateness. The person with a codependent need for intimacy activates the other person's counter-dependent need for protection from invasion or abuse. The person with a counter-dependent need for space and safety can activate his partner's codependent fear of abandonment. Unless the partners understand what is really trying to happen in their relationship, they may head for the divorce court. If you got stuck in black and white thinking, you may tend to split your experiences in close relationships into all good or all bad. When your relationship is going well, you may see it as all good, like we will love each other this way forever. When there is conflict in the relationship, especially the kind of conflict that brings up childhood issues or intense feelings, then your relationship may look all bad, and you think it's time to get a divorce. Neither view is realistic in close relationships. All human systems, couples, families, groups, organizations, cultures, nation-states, and the human species go through 4 stages of development: codependence, counterdependence, independence, and interdependence. Most human systems are stuck at the counter-dependent stage of development. Everything and everyone is evolving. If a stage is not completed, this delays development and makes it difficult to move to the next one. Our culture not only supports, but also actually promotes counterdependency as healthy, functional behavior. For example, many companies require their workers to put in long hours and ignore their family responsibilities in order to retain their jobs. Being strong, hard, manipulative, dominating, self-made, and ruggedly independent are all part of the mythical hero of the American dream. Moreover, our throwaway culture says, if it doesn't work, toss it and get a new one. The goal of breaking free of dysfunctional codependent and counterdependent behaviors is to recover our true self. Neither our parents nor our grandparents' generation recognized or saw value in having a self. They saw those who wanted a self as selfish, egotistical, and narcissistic, an idea supported by mainstream culture and religions. They didn't understand that wanting a self is a natural stage in human evolution. Many of the methods our parents used to raise us were dysfunctional. From this perspective, it is not useful to judge, blame, or feel ashamed. We are slowly becoming more aware of what humans can be, and to have a new vision of wholeness that can free us from the traumas of our childhood. The path to wholeness for people with counter-dependent behaviors is to become more dependent, focus on others, remove walls, identify and express feelings, identify personal weaknesses, be intimate with others, be cooperative, take back projections, make commitments, master the world of relationships, develop compassion for others, and separate sexuality from nurturing. To complete your psychological birth, it is necessary for you to master your internal struggle between two seemingly opposite forces: the natural drive toward oneness and closeness, and the equally powerful drive to be an emotionally separate, self-determining individual. Upon completion of your psychological birth, you will have a keen sense of who you really are, and will handle life's challenges and conflicts with a minimum of stress, while feeling good about yourself and good about others. You will be able to maintain your object constancy in the midst of most life challenges. You will be able to be both close and intimate, and separate and alone when you want to. The steps to recovery of the self include remembering what happened to you as a child, identifying the characteristics of counter-dependent behaviors, feeling your feelings, learning reparenting skills, becoming an autonomous person, learning to take charge of your body, developing a spiritual life, and learning to live interdependently. People with counter-dependency issues have difficulty receiving without resistance, so they are often not very empathetic. Frequently, they judge what they hear before even thinking about it. They resist taking in anything others say that appears to be critical or threatening. This reflects their built-in protection system. So people struggling with counter-dependency must learn to let go enough to hear what others say without resisting it. If you get quick responses or negative responses from someone, you know your words have been evaluated, but probably not considered very carefully. Letting go of the tendency to make quick judgments is an important skill for creating and sustaining intimate relationships. Skills that will help you change your counter-dependent behaviors. Developing empathy, setting boundaries, reclaiming projections, parenting yourself, resolving conflicts, communicating about sex. It's difficult to acknowledge your pattern of isolation and abandonment, and how you struggle to reveal your wounds and vulnerability. But you have a choice. You can choose to let down your wall of resentment and bravado, and let others see who you really are underneath it. Or you can keep up your wall and set in motion the breakup of another doomed relationship. What it takes to experience more intimacy in your relationship. Cooperate with your partner to heal your developmental trauma drama through reparenting contracts. Tell the truth about who you really are and what your needs really are. Share power and find soul-evolving solutions to all conflicts. Create abundance by being willing to share your life with your partner on many levels: mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. Negotiate with your partner to meet your needs for closeness and separateness, and to create opportunities for becoming interdependent. Integrate. See your partner as a complete and separate person with some traits you like and some traits you don't like. Be assertive. Be willing to ask for what you want 100% of the time. Release the stored and repressed feelings about your early childhood violations and abandonments. Release your anger in therapy or a safe relationship, rather than while you are alone. Learn to discriminate between real and imagined threats. Use perception checks to sort out what is real and what is imagined. Remember that no one makes you feel angry. Take responsibility for creating your feelings. Monitor your impulse to protect yourself by crossing the boundaries of others. Learn defensive martial arts techniques to protect yourself without harming your attacker when you are being physically attacked. Remember that revenge escalates and leads to further violence. Ask your loved ones to help you stop invading or attacking others, as they may be aware of your invasions before you are. Make amends as soon as possible when you become aware that you have crossed someone's boundaries. Demonstrate your willingness to address problems peacefully. Receive help and feedback without resistance. The true purpose of relationships is to help us become whole and fully functioning human beings. Such relationships are possible only when there is a deep commitment between partners to help each other break free of codependent and counter-dependent behaviors, and to use the healing process as a springboard to a more spiritual relationship. The biggest obstacle blocking this new vision of relationship is the competitive, one-up, one-down model that exists in almost all relationships. Couples need to develop committed relationships based on equality, cooperation, and mutuality. People with counter-dependent patterns need to learn how to be vulnerable and risk being hurt, rather than remaining guarded about their problems or needs. They must learn to ask for help from others, be less self-centered, and develop empathy for others. The development of intimacy requires communication skills. Recovering the capacity to be intimate is a different process for each person. Learning to be intimate requires a shift from self-centeredness to other-centeredness. True intimacy includes conflict and requires effective tools for resolving it. Engaging in a committed relationship is one of the most effective ways to break free of your counter-dependent behaviors and meet your previously unmet developmental needs. The old definition of intimacy focused on close, romantic, highly positive times in the relationship. A new definition of intimacy involves developing a sense of oneness, taking risks, and trusting each other at deep levels as well. Intimacy deepens as partners risk greater openness, become more emotionally present, and display a high degree of caring for each other. There is a certain rightness about your symptoms. The symptoms present in a person or couple, family, or organization are unskilled attempts to evolve. Whatever is trying to happen in any system is right, in some larger way. And the way you are approaching your problems is the best way you know how, given what you have learned.